And in other headline news, Thailand is expected to extend its emergency decree by another month until the end of June, as its cabinet convenes today. In the meantime, some COVID-19 restrictions are set to be eased further in what the government has called the third phase of reopening starting next month. Thailand reported 1 new death in the coronavirus and 2 new infections on Monday. And that brings the death toll to 57 and the total case count to 3,042. More on this, let's bring in Success Sosambat in Bangkok. Success, what is the government's assessment on the current coronavirus situation and what can we expect from the cabinet meeting today?
Well, while the Thai government is pretty satisfied with the progress of the coronavirus pandemic here in Thailand, they are still highly likely to extend the state of emergency until the end of June. There has been a recommendation by the National Security Council last week already, and that recommendation has also been approved by the government's COVID-19 task force. But legally speaking, it can only be the Thai cabinet that can extend a state of emergency, but it is very extremely likely to happen later this morning. And this would be the second, but also the last extension that the government can legally do, since by law it cannot be longer than 3 months. But practically speaking, they could simply let this one run out and call for another state of emergency. Now, the reason why they are going to extend the state of emergency, at least that's what they're saying, is that they are anticipating, or at least trying to be prepared for a potential second wave of COVID-19 infections, as Thailand is looking to further lift restrictions on daily life here in Thailand. And it is very likely that by the end of this week, by next Sunday, there will be more reopenings. For example, cinemas and massage parlors. So these places, more places where people can go, of course, under strict health guidelines. But there's also the potential risk of a second wave of new infections coming in there. Now, but then again, the number of excuses that the government has to extend that is slowly running thin, because there are more growing opposition against this decision. There are more people accusing the government to do that just to cling on to power, or just simply extending the state of emergency for political reasons. Just last week, we had the 6th anniversary of the military coup, where Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha took over powers then. He's still the Prime Minister now, and there were some small protests here and there, and they were immediately shut down because of the existing state of emergency. So there could be more source for disagreements coming up.
All right, Success. Running parallel to these decisions about lockdowns, Thailand also entering the global race to find a vaccine for COVID-19, because their objective is to make it affordable and accessible to the region. Tell us more.
Yes, Thailand is one of many places around the world that are racing to find a vaccine against the COVID-19 virus. And the focus here in Thailand, they have been made progress. They have tested a prototype vaccine on mice already, and they have moved on to monkeys. And health officials and researchers have said that if that is successful, the test on monkeys, they might start human trials sometime later this year. And there are already, the focus here in Thailand, of course, is affordability, as you said. And we're going to hear from one of the head researchers more about this.
We just want Thailand and some of the Southeast Asian countries to get access to vaccine. So now we got the agreement in principle that, okay, if you make millions of doses, you can, make it, sell it available at cost, or whatever, affordable in Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, Myanmar, Pakistan. So 7 countries.
Now, even though, despite the progress that they have made in vaccine, they are still warning that it won't be until next year until a vaccine can be distributed. So until then, we are still living in this so-called new normal with all these health restrictions until this vaccine has been successfully found and successfully been distributed.
Well, thanks very much indeed. Success Sosambat reporting live to us there from Bangkok.